In the heart of the dense jungle, where the canopy blots out the sun and the air is thick with humidity, there exists a delicate balance between life and death. It is a place where every creature must fight to survive, where danger lurks in every shadow, and where the will to live burns fiercely in the hearts of all who dwell within its embrace. Amidst the towering trees and tangled undergrowth, a lone deer finds itself ensnared in a web of peril. With a fire burning on its backside, its very flesh threatened by the relentless flames, it dashes through the foliage in a desperate bid for freedom. But the jungle is unforgiving, its obstacles many and its dangers manifold. To the front lies a mighty river, its waters teeming with unseen perils. The deer knows that should it stumble and fall into those murky depths, it will surely be swept away by the merciless current, never to be seen again. Yet, even as it hesitates on the riverbank, the searing pain of the fire at its back spurs it onward, driving it to take the risk and plunge into the unknown. On its right side prowls the king of the jungle, a lion whose golden mane ripples like flames in the dappled sunlight. With muscles rippling beneath its sleek coat, it watches the deer with hungry eyes, every movement calculated, every muscle tensed for the kill. The deer can feel the weight of that predatory gaze upon it, can sense the lion's hunger, its thirst for blood. And yet, even as terror courses through its veins, it knows that it cannot afford to falter, cannot afford to show weakness in the face of such a formidable foe. But perhaps the greatest danger of all lies to the deer's left, where a hunter lies in wait, his rifle trained unwaveringly on his prey. With steady hands and steely resolve, he waits for the perfect moment to strike, his finger poised on the trigger, his breath held in anticipation. The deer knows that it is outmatched, that against such cunning and firepower, its chances of survival are slim at best. And yet, even as despair threatens to consume it, a flicker of defiance ignites within its breast, a refusal to surrender to the cruel whims of fate. In this crucible of survival, where every heartbeat is a battle cry and every breath a testament to the strength of the will, the deer finds itself confronted with a choice. It can give in to despair, succumb to the inevitability of its fate, and allow itself to be consumed by the flames that rage at its heels. Or it can rise to the challenge, defy the odds, and fight tooth and hoof for its right to live another day. And so, with fire licking at its flanks and danger lurking at every turn, the deer takes a deep breath and plunges headlong into the unknown. It dashes through the undergrowth, its hooves pounding against the forest floor, its heart thundering in its chest. With each stride, it defies the odds, defies the predators that seek to claim it as their own, defies the very laws of nature itself. Through the river it swims, its muscles straining against the current, its lungs burning for want of air. Through the tangled thicket it charges, its antlers tearing through the foliage, its eyes fixed unwaveringly on the horizon. And through it all, the fire at its back burns ever brighter, a beacon of hope in the darkness, a reminder that even in the face of insurmountable odds, there is always a chance, however slim, of survival. And as the hunter takes aim, his finger tightening on the trigger, he finds himself transfixed by the sight before him. For in the eyes of the deer, he sees not fear, but defiance. In its every movement, he senses not weakness, but strength. And in that moment, as the world holds its breath and the jungle falls silent, he realizes that he is not the only predator in this deadly game of cat and mouse. For the deer is not just a victim, not just a pawn in the hands of fate. It is a survivor, a warrior, a symbol of the indomitable spirit that resides within us all. And as it vanishes into the depths of the jungle, leaving behind nothing but the echo of its hoofbeats and the scent of its passing, it leaves behind a legacy that will endure long after the last ember of the fire has been extinguished and the last echo of the hunter's shot has faded into silence. For in the end, it is not the size of the fire, or the strength of the lion, or the skill of the hunter that determines the fate of the deer. It is the fire that burns within its heart, the strength that courses through its veins, the will to survive against all odds. And in that, there is a lesson for us all, a reminder that no matter how dire the circumstances, how insurmountable the obstacles, how formidable the foes, there is always hope. For as long as there is life, there is the chance to defy the odds, to overcome the impossible, to emerge victorious against all odds. And in the end, it is not the fear of death that drives us, but the hope of life, the promise of another day. So let us take inspiration from the deer, let us heed the call of the wild, let us embrace the challenge that lies before us and seize our destiny with both hands. For in the jungle of life, there are no guarantees, no certainties, no promises of an easy path. But there is the promise of adventure, of discovery, of triumph in the face of adversity. And as we stand on the precipice of the unknown, let us remember the deer and the fire that burned at its back. Let us remember the river that threatened to swallow it whole, the lion that sought to claim it as its prey, the hunter that stalked it with cold, calculating precision. And let us remember that against all odds, against all reason, against all hope, the deer survived. For in the end, it is not the size of the fire that matters, but the strength of the spirit that it ignites. And in the heart of every living creature, no matter how small or how frail, there burns a fire that cannot be extinguished, a fire that lights the way through even the darkest of nights. So let us embrace that fire, let us nurture it and let it guide us through the trials and tribulations that lie ahead. For in the end, it is not the jungle that defines us, but the way in which we navigate its tangled paths and emerge stronger, wiser, and more alive than ever before.